Uh-oh, Jared Jones is dealing with an elbow injury. Let's discuss on Fantasy Baseball Today Express. Welcome into FBT Express on Thursday, March 20th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White. Got some big news on Wednesday as Jared Jones was scratched from his final spring start, dealing with right elbow discomfort. Apparently, he felt it in his most recent bullpen session and is already going for a second opinion, which is a little ominous here, Scott. Do you think Jared Jones is completely off our draft boards until we learn more?
Well, I've officially moved him down to the range of my rankings where Grayson Rodriguez and Sean Manaea are, right behind them, which still technically has him in the top 60 at starting pitcher. And that's because, obviously, I want to play it conservatively. We don't know what the situation is with Jones's elbow. And so I'm not ready to totally bury him and put him off the draft board. But realistically, if I'm drafting before I know more, he's got to fall a long way. He's got to fall a lot further than that because it doesn't sound good. I mean, second opinion, you get that when you don't like what you heard in the first opinion, you know? Yeah. So it's concerning. I will point out, if you want something to cling to as hope, the Pirates senior director of sports medicine said the exact quote is, "I don't want to be an alarmist." And maybe that was his way of signaling that they don't think it's the worst case scenario, but who knows? I mean, who knows how to read that exactly. We just got to wait and see. Maybe by the time you're listening, this we'll know more.
Yep. And if Jared Jones has to miss time, the next question is who is next up? For fantasy, I think we would mostly want Bubba Chandler, who is their top pitching prospect, but Pirates beat writer Noah Heil speculated that it could be Thomas Harrington who gets the first shot. He's another one of their prospects. Not as exciting. He doesn't throw the 100-mile-per-hour fastball. He's more of a command, kitchen sink type of pitcher, but he's put up good numbers in the minors. He's already 23 years old. Scott, do you have any interest in Thomas Harrington if he were in the rotation to start the season? And do you think it could still be Bubba Chandler? What are your thoughts?
I doubt it's going to be Chandler. That would be what we're rooting for. He's not just the Pirates' best pitching prospect. He's like a top 5 pitching prospect across the game. He'll be up at some point. He's probably, I don't know, next week I'll have my top 10 or top 12 prospects to stash, and he'll probably be among them. But I just don't think they're ready to start the clock on him. Thomas Harrington is a top 100 prospect this year for Baseball America, MLB.com, and Baseball Prospectus. So he's a legit prospect. He didn't quite crack my top 100 because he seems like more of a floor type of pitcher than a ceiling guy. But 2.61 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, 8.8 K per 9 across 3 minor league levels last year. Elite control. I could see him being useful if that is where the Pirates turn. Would I take him over a lot of the spring risers we've been talking about, Richard Fitz, or even like a Jack Leiter or Casey Mize? No, I wouldn't. So if those pitchers are too far down the board to matter in your league, then Thomas Harrington would be as well.
Yeah, I think just deep leagues for now, but we'll wait to find out more about Jared Jones, who again is dealing with right elbow discomfort. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this commercial break.
Guys, can you feel it? Legends were born here. History was made here. These are hallowed grounds.
Hallowed grounds? The NCIS squad room?
Well, I wasn't talking about that, but I was talking about Augusta National.
All right. It's finally time for the Masters. I hear it's a tradition unlike any other.
Welcome back in FBT Express. We're breaking down the latest news from Wednesday, and Dbacks manager Torey Lovullo said he won't name a closer before the start of the season and will instead play matchups. That means Justin Martinez and AJ Puk will both kind of cannibalize each other's fantasy value unless one of them emerges, Scott. How are you handicapping the Dbacks bullpen for fantasy?
Well, I am putting them back to back in my rankings. I do have Justin Martinez ahead of AJ Puk. I think he has the advantage as both the right-hander of the two and the incumbent. He was the closer for them at the end of last season. The way I'm reading the situation, though, is more they haven't decided yet. Like they both look so good this spring, and they both are closer capable. And so let's see. This is Alex Weiner of Arizona Sports. The way his exact tweet reads, Torey Lavulo said he probably won't name a closer before the season starts. They'll roll with matching up at first. So I think it's going to sort itself out in time, probably by the end of April. But right now, yeah, still up in the air, and that means they both have to be drafted with some trepidation.
Freddy Freeman wound up missing both games in Tokyo due to that rib injury. Dave Roberts said he expects Freeman to play in their first domestic series against the Angels. Freeman fell to 30th in that mock draft we did 2 nights ago. Scott, are you dropping him into that 3rd round range? How do you feel about Freeman at this point?
Yeah, no, probably not 3rd round, late 2nd. I think it's going to be okay. I think it was a scar tissue situation, as we talked about on the full length pod yesterday. But obviously you don't really know. It's concerning that it's in the exact same spot where he tore cartilage. That would kind of lend itself to being scar tissue, but there's nothing saying he couldn't tear the cartilage again. He says it doesn't feel that bad, not nearly that bad. He was already feeling better Tuesday, so it's probably not a big deal. But he also has the ankle thing going on, and you just wonder if he's getting to an age where Freddie Freeman's going to be dealing with nagging injuries all the time. That's more of my concern than this specific injury. But, still a great source of batting average, runs, RBI, batting high in the Dodgers lineup. Still a lot to like there. I don't want to go overboard in downgrading him. All
right. Ranger Suarez was scratched from his next start due to mild back stiffness. He went on the IL last year with back soreness. And if he has to miss any time, my guess is Taijuan Walker would be next up for the Phillies. Jose Altuve will indeed open the season as the Astros' primary left fielder. And good luck to them, because he has looked pretty lost out there this spring. Dropped another fly ball on Wednesday. That means he'll gain outfield eligibility for fantasy, Scott, but I assume most people will still want to use him at second base.
Yeah, probably. I could see a scenario where, particularly as the season plays out, it's 5 outfielder league, you might have to shift him there. Second base has a lot of usable options. I think the added eligibility will help. I don't think it's like a catcher picking up first base eligibility. I'll never use that. It's different from that. I don't know how well it's going to go. He's botched a few routine plays out there and left. And it's not like they have a great alternative at second base. So I'm kind of confused by what they're doing. I know Altuve was bad defensively last year, but it could be even worse in left. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's where we are. Added eligibility, same value in fantasy overall, though.
Again, that was Jose Altuve, and we will wrap there. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to our full-length podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today Express, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.